Hey, what's up everyone, PersNikity here, and welcome back to the Uncharted 2 walkthrough on Brutal difficulty, and we're going to be moving on to Chapter 14, Tunnel Vision. Now, this, in my opinion, is actually one of the hardest chapters. It's similar to Chapter 13 in the sense that you are on a moving train, but there's a lot more combat in here. The combat is a lot tougher because, one, the enemies are tougher, and two, they usually tend to be further off in the distance, and on Brutal, that makes it really hard. Now, I'm going to give you my best advice that I can, and this is what got me through this level pretty easily. So at this part here, you can pick up a sniper rifle, and when you jump over to this train car here, you're going to see that there's a couple enemies way further down the track, and you might think, well, the game just gave me a sniper rifle, so these enemies are far away. I should probably use my sniper rifle. However, I am going to advise you against that. I think it's beneficial to hold on to the sniper rifle for the majority of this level and try to use it as little as possible. And that's because later on in the level, you're going to be faced with a situation, and obviously I'll narrate that when I get to it, but you're going to be faced with a situation that is just very difficult with short-range weapons. And so I'm going to advise to hold on to the sniper rifle until you get to that point. And so what you can do here, instead of using your sniper rifle, is you can just hang from the edge here, and you can actually, the enemies will slowly but surely make their way to you, and all you have to do is hang from this edge and then just utilize blind fire. Obviously, it's not the most conservative approach when it comes to ammo. Blind firing is going to waste more ammo, however, that is okay because it is just paramount that you hold on to that sniper rifle. Now, this part here was a little weird. There was 3 enemies, but for some reason, one of them decided to come over to this train car here. I'm not sure why, but I had to deal with that. So you can see there's this one, and then one of them is down at the distance, and the enemies are always going to behave slightly differently, so this shouldn't change your approach too much. You're still going to take the basic thing. You're gonna blind fire while hanging from the edge. And now you see here, I'm in a bit of a sticky situation. I have 1 bullet left, and I have 1 enemy to kill. And so now, what do? Well, I have a couple options. One, I could wait, and you see that there's these red railway warning signs above the train. You can just hang out for a bit, and hopefully the enemy AI will make a mistake and hit themselves on it. You might have to wait a while. You see there's another enemy down on my right there. I'm not going to worry about him right now. For now, I want to take care of this guy, and you see right there, finally he made that mistake. He tried to throw a grenade at me and got hit by the sign. Now, you have to be patient, but eventually that should happen because there are going to be just, I believe, an infinite amount of those signs. Now, you saw that there was 1 enemy in here, and what you're going to want to do if he doesn't climb up to the train car, you can just sneak up on him and pursue him in hand-to-hand combat. Now, like I said, this part is pretty variable. There's a lot of different things that can happen. The enemies tend to behave pretty differently between playthroughs, so you're going to have to adapt. I can't, obviously if the enemies change what they do, I can't give you a 100% foolproof walkthrough, but what I can do is give you still my really solid advice of holding onto that sniper rifle. And you saw right there, I had to use a shot. That's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm not against using the gun. I'm just saying you're going to want to try to conserve as much ammo as possible. And you see here, I really just didn't have a choice. I didn't have any ammo. I didn't have any grenades. And there was too many enemies to do hand-to-hand combat. So I had to give up 3 bullets. Did I want to give them up? Absolutely not. But if you have to, you have to. So even though I'm telling you to conserve ammo, still you want to do it intelligently. If you have to use some bullets, use some bullets. But if you can save, I'd say at least 2 bullets, preferably more, but at least 2 bullets, that will help a lot. And so you're going to come to this area here. You're going to want to shoot the lock off the door. And now we're going to keep on keeping on. And this is where you're going to be faced with a very annoying part of the game. So what's going to happen is you're going to hop up to the roof of this train car, and chances are you're going to get killed because as you hop up here, a couple enemies hop out, and they just have incredible pinpoint accuracy from very far away. So you see right here, you hop out of the train car, this little brief cinematic appears, and then immediately afterwards you're going to be getting shot at. And I guarantee you, you're more than likely going to get killed right here. So you see, boom, right away I died. And the checkpoint here is terrible. You might die 30 times in a row. It definitely happened to me. But what you want to do is right off the spawn, roll backwards towards the screen, back down into this train car here. And you can see that there's 2 enemies that are on top of the train. And this is what I was talking about. It's incredibly hard to kill them. And so what I did was I dropped my sniper rifle and I picked up the AK-47 that was in the train. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use this AK-47 on the enemies and then come back for my sniper. But the problem was you don't have a good line of fire here. So eventually I had to say, okay, never mind, forget that approach. I'll stick with the sniper rifle. If you can use the AK to take those guys out, definitely try it. But if they're just gone or they're too far away, then just forget it and take the sniper. Now, when you get a chance, shimmy on the side of the car and get to the floor of this train car here. Now, remember, there's that enemy on the roof, so you got to stay low here. But from this room now, we're going to want to take out some more of these soldiers. So, again, I didn't have much of a choice. I had to use my sniper rifle here. But notice, if you get a headshot on the heavily armored enemy, it is a one-hit kill. And so try to utilize that information as best as possible. And now you see that there's these enemies on the roof here. And these are the guys that tend to shoot you immediately when you respawn. And these are the guys you really got to look out for. So one of them, again, it's just highly variable. Sometimes they'll hop into the train car, sometimes they won't. The first guy typically will, but the guy at the very far end, he'll typically stay on the roof for quite a while. And so this is the part that I mentioned where things get really difficult, because you're going to go into the next train car. There's going to be a handful of enemies. Make sure you pick up those grenades right there. But there's going to be 2 enemies on the very next car, and one of them is heavily armored and one of them is a regular soldier. And the problem is, they will typically never approach you. You're going to have to shoot them from a far distance. So you see, as soon as I jump to this car, boom, I'm already faced with a couple new enemies. So what you're going to want to do is when you jump to this car, kill the enemies that are in the car with you with your small weapon, whether it's a pistol or whether it's this Uzi. I can't remember the actual name of this weapon. But then you're going to want to try to take out this guy on the roof. Now, this guy is honestly one of the hardest guys to kill because if you pop up for even a second, he's just going to start unloading on you. But you see over here on this next train car, there's 2 enemies. There's a heavily armored enemy and there's a small soldier. And this is why I recommended saving the sniper rifle, specifically for that heavily armored soldier. And you see right there, I can't believe I missed that bullet. But you really want to save that sniper rifle for the heavily armored soldier at the end like I did. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is, he will not come over to this train car. That means that you're going to pretty much have to shoot him from a very far distance, and that is incredibly hard to do with a pistol. It'll either use up all your ammo or it will take forever. And so you actually want to save the sniper rifle and use it on him. Then all you're left with is one standard soldier, and again, he will not come to you. You're going to have to make your way to him, which can be very intimidating. And so what you're just going to want to do, there's a lot of cover in this train car, so just go from cover to cover. Make sure you get a weapon with some ammo. You can see that I picked up the pistole here. Not my ideal weapon, but hey, it's a weapon. And yeah, that's really the approach you're going to want to take. Now, I know a lot of this is easier said than done. Trust me, I understand that. But if you save that sniper rifle for that heavily armored soldier at the end of this train car, I promise you it will make your life a lot easier, because if you don't have it, you're going to have to take them out with standard guns from very far away, and it's going to take forever. So, again, it's really hard to do. It'll probably take some practice. I wish you guys the best of luck on that. I understand that, you know, it's kind of annoying to hear me say that, because honestly, the enemies are they always tend to do different things, and so you have to adapt, but try to save that sniper rifle for as long as you can. And now you're going to make your way a little bit further down, and this is where things actually get pretty easy. Once you get past that last part, the rest of this is fairly simple. You got this heavily armored turret enemy. You actually don't even have to kill him. You're just going to shoot the 2 cranks that are holding the logs together, and as soon as you shoot those, the guy will fall down, and you're good to go. Now, we got to take out this guy because he is holding the permadagger, so he's kind of the boss of this level. And so to take him out, you're actually going to have to get into a truck that has a turret in it, and that will come on slightly later. But for now, you're just going to want to dodge the helicopter, and in between bursts, you're just going to want to use cover to cover. It shouldn't be that difficult. The game understands that you're on brutal, so it actually, you can absorb a little more damage than usual, but obviously you're not going to want to just stand there in harm's way. And you can see it's coming up right here, so make your way through this final train car, jump the gap, and then get into the turret. And yeah, this part is pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to unload on this guy. Two things to note: you're going to want to lead the chopper. That means you're going to want to shoot slightly in front of it so that your bullets connect, or you can try, if you just keep your reticle on him, you should be fine. And then once in a while, he's going to shoot off these missiles, and when he shoots those off, forget about the helicopter and make sure you shoot all of those missiles out of the sky, because those can kill you really fast on brutal. So you see he just shot some missiles. I'm going to shoot him out of the sky, and now I'm going to put my reticle back on the chopper and just keep unloading. And you'll notice him flaming and smoking the more you shoot him, obviously, and eventually he should go down. This part is actually really simple compared to the rest of the combat in this level. And so as soon as you take down the chopper, you're pretty close to the boss. You have a couple of these enemies to deal with. Remember, we picked up some grenades earlier that we didn't use. If you want, you can use them here, because you're not, or you could also try to save them for the boss, but you don't need to. The important thing to know is that you're not going to need them going into the next chapter. So you don't have to worry about saving your grenades that long. But you can see those two grenades definitely helped me here, and so if you want to use them, use them. If you can't, then just use guns. But either way, it's some pretty standard combat here. You shouldn't have too much to worry about, and you're going to see a cut because you get a checkpoint right before the boss. And so as soon as you jump over to this car, that's going to trigger the boss fight. So basically what you have to do is you just have to keep getting close enough to him to engage in hand-to-hand combat. And you're going to have to do that a couple times, and every time you get up to him, you're going to have to press the same old techniques. You're going to have to press square to hit and triangle to counter. When he throws grenades, that's when you're usually going to want to make a run for it, because if you just run out in the open, he's going to kill you really fast. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm just taking cover, I'm shooting, and then as soon as he pops a grenade, that's when I'm going to run up, and then boom, I can initiate some combat. You know, just follow the quick time event buttons, and then as soon as you push him out of the way, this part's actually really hard. Whenever you push him away, make sure you immediately take cover, because now you're basically going to have to rinse and repeat. You're going to have he's going to go to the other end of the car, and you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to take cover, and when he throws grenades, you're going to want to make a run for it. Again, this part actually is pretty tough. It's definitely going to take some practice, but I think with enough of it, you should be able to get through it relatively easily. So that's pretty much it, guys. You're just going to have to do this a couple of times, follow the quick time events, and you should be able to take him out. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. And this level's really hard, and if you can get past it, you got a really good chance of finishing the game. So I wish you luck on that, and I'll see you in the next video.
Mine, jerkweed. Saved my ass again. Are you all right?
Get off the train, Nate.
What are you talking about? You have any idea what I've been through?
I never asked for any of your bloody heroics.
Chloe, come on, we don't have time for this.
You're right. So get off the train while you still can.
And leave you with them.
You made your choice.
What did you expect me to do?
I expected you to have my back.
I had your back!
How could you possibly with the other two on yours?
Good luck with Flynn. We deserve each other. You know, I can't believe...
No.
You just don't know when to quit, do you? What? No witty remark? Nothing clever to say?
We don't. No!
Oh, no, you don't!
Stop. Just let him go.
Put him out of his misery!
It's nothing.